My next guest has been getting knockouts. It's just his thing these days. This time, a second round knockout over Shayilan Nuerdanbieke at UFC 287. It's Steve Garcia back here on the program. Steve, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. Back home, happy to be home. So it was a good weekend. Now I'm enjoying a little bit of the fruit of my labor.
Yeah, back to being Dad Steve, right, as opposed to the fighter Steve, which is always
Oh,
interesting.
dude, you just saw this morning was wild. Traffic was crazy. My kids are going crazy. I'm taking them to school. My son's upset. My wife or my daughter's upset. It was a mess. But back to reality, and it's not something I'm not too upset about.
Yeah. Congrats on the win, man. That was unbelievable. Second straight TKO win. What's been clicking for you these last couple of fights? Do you feel, or is it just the fact that maybe you're feeling, at the top of your game right now? What's been sort of the reason for the success?
I honestly feel like obviously I always work hard and stuff like that. I don't. I get my confidence and I get everything from the amount of hard work that I put in. So that's
Mhm.
number one. But number two, I think I just try to stop being like Steve the UFC fighter and just being Steve. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I'm already the UFC fighter. You know what I mean? Like I'm already doing that. So I just wanted to stay me and I do the things that I'm enjoying when I can. So like Thursday, day before weigh-ins, we were in Miami. Me and my dad, we went and played 18 holes, man, that morning. You know
Did
what I
you
mean?
really?
So
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
it
Okay,
was
cool. But you're speaking my language, by the way. I golfed twice last week, so hearing
yeah,
this is making me very, very happy because I love talking golf. So
yeah, man. I love golf. It's been like my best like hobby slash like getaway in a sense from all the chaos that kind of happens, especially during camp. So it sucks because here in Albuquerque, the weather can't make up its mind. It's cold, it's hot, it's snowing, it's raining, it's windy. It sucks. So when I went to Florida, it was perfect. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it was so nice. So I did that, and I don't know. I didn't try to dress in all the UFC gear. I didn't try to do all that stuff. I just wanted to be me, kind of blend in a little bit, a little camouflage. You know what I mean?
yeah,
This fighting is what I do. It's not who I am. You know what
yeah.
I mean? And I think once I figure that out, I leave fighting, in the gym and in the cage. But outside of that, I really just want to be me and just a normal person. I go to church. I work, full time. I'm a family man. I have a beautiful wife. Got two kids, and I don't know. I just felt like those things kind of been the only things that really stick out to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know exactly what you mean. It's one part of your life. It's not your life. You know what I mean? Like there's more to you than just Steve the fighter, like you said. But you left me hanging there. How did you play in those 18 holes? How'd you do?
Dude, I scored like a 91. It wasn't the best, but I also all right. So in my defense, they didn't give me a driver. So I was like, y'all messed out on the driver. But it forced me to use my 3 wood a lot. So that was
Oh,
cool.
okay. At least you had the 3 wood though. That would
I
have
had
been
a
really
3 wood.
bad if you had to use like your five or something, right? So
Yeah, and I had to rent out all their clubs, so I didn't have my clubs. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
I played okay. Like it wasn't like the best. I've been
I was
running
gonna. Hey,
all week.
listen. Anything under, you know what I mean? Like if you can get even close to the 80s, that's like a good score. Like you're 91. You aren't that far off from the 80s. I don't know.
Yeah,
As far as I'm concerned, that's pretty good.
yeah, man. It was. I mean, I guess it's okay. Like for me, like I want to be like really good. You know what I mean? At some
Yeah,
point, like I want to go play like in an amateur program or something like that, just because I love it so much.
yeah.
My dad, because I played with my dad, and my dad scored like an 86. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
he had
dude, I know how that feels. I played with my dad last year, and he beat me by a stroke, and it's still haunting me till this day. I need to beat my dad. You know what I mean?
yeah. And I'm okay if he beats me because he's the one who taught me how to play.
Yeah,
But he's been really big into it lately. So like he told me yesterday he just got himself the Paradigm Callaway driver. I'm
yeah,
like super jealous because that's like really expensive club and it's really nice. But yeah, he's really getting into it. So I know he's been playing pretty decent. I'm trying to catch up at this point, and I feel like I can definitely hang with them. Like we'll play a couple bucks a hole or whatever the case is. I can beat him on the back nine. He might beat me in the front nine, but it's just nice to be able to go and do that with him and anybody else that's willing to come out and play because, not everybody's, a golfer.
yeah.
And, I definitely try to find the people that want to go play.
Anyways, before people don't think this is a golf show, let's talk about the fight. Was there anything about him that surprised you in the matchup? I mean, you got the finish, but kind of looking back, was there anything maybe you weren't expecting?
To be honest, the strength thing was like that was on point. I knew that was gonna happen. He's gonna be super strong, which he was. The only thing that kind of caught me off guard was how like maybe how explosive he was. He was very, very quick, very, very fast. He when he caught me with that straight right, that sat me down, that kind of came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like to me, and I probably should have expected that because early on in the fight, he kind of caught me with it again. I went for a kick down low somewhere, and I think I caught him in the groin, and I should have just snapped there. Didn't happen, but other than that, that's the only thing that really really surprised me.
And you finished that first round really strong. How much confidence did you get going into that second round, knowing, okay, it's only a matter of time before I'm going to get this guy?
You know what, man? Like I was actually even when he dropped me, I feel like that's where I gained the most confidence. As weird as that is, because
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, it's the saying "poke the bear," right? Maybe it was that type of thing, right? Poke the
yeah.
bear.
In my head, it was like, if that's the best you got, this is gonna be a bad day for you. You
Right.
know what I
Okay.
mean? So, you hit me with a nice clean shot. I mean, he put everything into that shot. It leveled me. It dropped me pretty good. And I'm like, you know what, bro? Like that ain't nothing. So I'm not trying to be arrogant or cocky, but that's kind of my mentality when I was on the floor. And I was like, just wait till I get up. It's gonna be moments, and this is gonna be a bad day for you.
Um, and then obviously you get the win, get the finish. I know you had to do a bit of media after. How did you celebrate after the win?
Honestly, I didn't really like celebrate. Like, obviously, I was able to, enjoy, winning and stuff. But they literally drove me back to the hotel, which was kind of cool because we actually had to like back up because that's when Donald Trump actually walked into the hallway. So we backed everything back up, and then like we had to make sure like he had a path into the arena, and so I was cool. He was maybe 10 feet in front of me, and then we were able to take off. Went to the hotel, changed, and then they give you tickets to come back into the hotel. They only give you like they gave me like 4 tickets. So two of my tickets were from like my brother and my wife, and I was able to come back into the arena and just spend the rest of the evening with them and watching the fights, man. So like it was cool because my wife has never been to a UFC event before, and my brother, just having him there was awesome. So just
Okay.
being able to go spend those time and watch those fights, Adesanya and Masvidal, and then obviously all the other fighters, Michelle and everybody else. It was just cool. Like it didn't even feel like I fought. Almost like it was just like I went back to an event and just enjoyed myself. So if that's
Yeah.
what like how I celebrated, I guess maybe, but yeah,
No,
that's how.
that's a great way to celebrate. And again, it was nice that you were on earlier in the card that you could actually do that. You referenced the main event there. What did you think of? I mean, you got to see it cage side. What was it like getting to see that knockout? That was pretty. That was one of the best knockouts I've ever seen.
The Adesanya one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I was if we were allowed to bet, I was gonna bet on Adesanya. I was like, there's no way this guy beats him 3 times. There's no way. Adesanya is, I know that guy might have had his number, but that guy's so good. Like he's gonna figure it out. He's gonna figure it out, and he did. I was happy for him. I was really happy for him because I'm a big Adesanya fan too. Striker to striker, I can definitely appreciate his work in there.
When do you want to get that next fight? We sort of talked about there. Back to being a dad. You got work. You got all these other things. So when would you like to have that next fight?
So pretty much what I've been telling everybody is I booked a cruise for my wife for her birthday.
Oh, awesome.
That's
Okay.
that's in September, and so I'm telling people I was like, if you want to give me a fight prior to that August, if they for whatever reason they can't find a matchup or whatever the case is after that, you know what I mean. So I
Right.
figure,
So kind of August is your deadline. You want to get something, but before then, right?
yeah.
So
So
okay.
July, August is I'm fine with, and then if they want to, extend it a little bit further, then we can do that too. I don't care. Um, but yeah, my wife sacrificed so much for my fighting, and she carries a heavy load, especially in camp. I gotta treat her good, with certain things at certain times, and I felt like I had to do that.
Who do you want to fight next? You have, I mean, you just knocked out your last two opponents. You got a bit of leverage here. Is there anyone you're kind of looking at the division say, hey, that would be a fun fight?
There's a bunch of fun fights, man. Like I kind of don't like saying it because I never get them. I feel like TJ Brown would be a good fight. I feel like Damon Jackson would be a fun fight. I like these guys. Like I don't want like there's no bad blood.
That's why I
Like
said
that.
fun fight, because I always want to be
Yeah.
clear about that, because people think, oh, they're calling him out. It's like, no, I'm asking you who you want to fight next without trying to be disrespectful, right? So,
Right.
yeah.
Sean Woodson would be a fun fight. If you want to go a little bit higher than that, like if there was anybody that I can start dabbling into the top 15 or whatever the case is, maybe like an Alex Caceres fight, that would be a fun fight too.
Okay, there you go. A lot of good options there. And your contract, I think I asked you this last time, but you're still on the same contract, right? Or are you looking to get a new one?
I just this last fight was my first fight on my new contract.
Oh, that's right. So new contract going into this one. That's great. So hey,
Yeah.
living up to it, man. That's good.
Yeah, I'm trying. Trying to put in the work.
Well, they got to be happy with you. Like I said, two back-to-back finishes there. And my last question: what do you got planned this week? I know again focuses on family and all that. You going out for any nice dinners or got anything planned like that?
So yeah. So like two things. So like we have a Jackson Wink fight night here in Albuquerque. It's actually our first one in our gym. We've had a
Oh,
couple of
cool.
them. I was one of the fighters that came out of the Jackson Wink fight night, got some wins, was able to kind of just like have good momentum going into the UFC, which was cool. Um, but this was the first one at the gym, which I'm super pumped to be about. And then the following Saturday. So I fought actually on my daughter's birthday. So April 8th is my daughter's. It was her 10th birthday. Um, anybody that follows me knows that I have an autistic child. She doesn't understand a lot of stuff, but she loves her birthdays. She knows when she sees birthday cakes and presents that it's a good time. So not this Saturday, but the following Saturday we're going up to Disneyland, and we're going to take
Awesome.
care of that. So those are the next two big things. And we had it scheduled for her birthday to go to Disneyland, and then I ended up fighting on the 8th, so we pushed it back 2 weeks, and it worked out.
Okay. Glad it worked out, and glad this interview worked out, Steve. Appreciate the time, man. I know you're a busy guy. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, sponsors, social media, the floor is yours, man.
Oh no, I just always thank God. That's number one in my life. Everybody knows that, and if you don't know that, keep following me, you'll know that. Um, my family, my wife, my kids, everybody that puts up with me, especially during camp, and then like my coaches, Greg Wink, my dad, all my training partners at JW, you guys are great. Everybody that like really prepares me for my fights. I have, the company that I work for is Complete Rejuvenation and Nonviolence Works, who is a nonprofit organization that help out kids that need help. Simon, you guys, everybody there, you guys are awesome. And yeah, man, anybody else that's watching that that wants to sponsor a UFC fighter, let me know too. I'm here and we can talk things through.